Hey, Billie Jean, can you hear me? I appreciate it. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Hi, A to B. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. Outstanding. I'm a little ahead. I got a little excited. It's so awesome that y'all are here. I'm just a little overwhelmed. I think that's awesome. Obviously, y'all were here before I was. Well, I hope y'all have had just a wonderful day. I uh, I got registered for my last year of law school classes yesterday. Well, like I said, I'm running just a little ahead of the game. I was a little nervous that things weren't going to work, so I thought I'd sign in and just give everything a quick test run. But it looks like everything's up and running pretty good. So excited about that. 7 o'clock my time, A to B. Yeah, 15 minutes, A to B. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Denver, nice, nice. How's the weather there right now? I bet it's really nice. Denver's always nice this time of year. I figured. Miss Garbs is here. Yay. Oh, that's all right. I don't mind the morning starting off cold, but I like it when it warms up. Take off your sweatshirt, gets into that t-shirt weather. Love that. Well, Mrs. Garbs, as you can see, you're not the only one who got excited for Cowboy Criminology's first live. We're all here. I was so worried that things weren't gonna be working. I was like, I'm just gonna sign in and just maybe if there's somebody waiting, they can, uh, you know, help me correct any problems that I might have before we try to go live and have a mishap like we did on Dan D's channel. I need to remind him we owe y'all a Friday the 13th episode. We had big ambitions. That was going to be really really good, and it just and it didn't happen for us. But that's okay. Uh, like I told Dandy, we can only go up from there. So, did you have bad storms today, Miss Garbs? Oh, it was heartbreaking. I just, man, if you put a gun to his head, he could he couldn't have tried any harder. Poor guy. Poor guy. But yeah, I'm gonna remind him we owe y'all a Friday the 13th episode. Is it better with that light on or with that light off? Kind of like it better with that overhead light off, I think. Yeah, a little better mystique that way. Billie Jean's got to take a call because she's popular. That's all right though. We got plenty of time. Well, Miss Garbs, did y'all get any rain down your way? You know he's almost to 1,000 followers, 932 in the 3 months that we've been talking. He's gained over 200 subscribers, and I just think that's awesome. Little flash flooding in the area. It doesn't take much in this part of the country, though. We waited just for you, Billie Jean. His commentary, I love his commentary. It goes from very satirical to sometimes he's got such a dry wit that you almost don't, if you're not paying attention, you won't catch it. I love that kind of humor. So I think that's why he and I uh, work so well together. He's very witty, and he's such a. I've had the pleasure of getting to know him kind of on a personal level, and he's just been such a great guy. Um, he was it was very kind of him, and I'll retell the story of uh, how Dan D and I even came to know of each other. It was it was really surprising to me, but it's he's turned out to be a very good friend. He's been a good friend to me personally, good friend to the channel, and so I do not have enough good things to say about Dan D. I truly don't. A to B, speaking of OGs on channels, uh, Miss Garbs is one of Cowboy Criminology's OG subscribers. She has been literally from the beginning. I know Dan's talked about pulling that uh, pulling that Friday the 13th video out as an archive and just kind of looking back on it someday and just talking about how far we've come. And I think that's cool. And I think it's important that when things don't go according to plan, you can just laugh about it and just throw your hands up and say, what are you going to do? Oh, in A to B's comment, she was talking about OG subscribers on Dandy's channel. And I mentioned that Miss Garbs was a OG on Cowboy Criminology. She's been with us. She's been with me since the very, very beginning. Yeah, no problem. Happy to help fix any confusion that there might be. Um, Actually, full disclosure, Miss Garbs is actually the Cowboy Criminologist mom, and I was visiting her with my wife, and my aunt and my cousin were visiting her as well, and we started talking about some true crime going on and one thing or another, and I just started rapid firing my knowledge of different things about serial killers and criminal behavior and criminal profiling. And mom was like, "You really should start a YouTube channel." And so I did. I gave it some thought and put a little effort into it. And actually, you all have her to thank for the Sarah Boone content because she. I was going to avoid Sarah Boone because I didn't know a whole lot about the case. But she says, as a subscriber, not just a subscriber, a loyal subscriber, I'm requesting you do a Sarah Boone video. And I did. And I mean, my Sarah Boone content just took off. And of course, y'all know that Dan D was doing it, does a bunch of Sarah Boone content. And he ended up finding my channel. And that just, yes. Yep. The Cowboy Criminologist mom in the house, making sure her little boy behaves. But yeah, it was actually her idea for me to do the Sarah Boone content, and I mean, the Sarah Boone content just exploded. And to her credit, she didn't say "I told you so." She didn't have to. The numbers spoke for themselves. So, but she's been there from the beginning. So I haven't heard any of the prison calls except what's been on Dandy. Um, are they as fantastic as everything else she's done? Oh, good. She's still the true crime gift that keeps on giving. That's what we decided she was on this. We decided she's the true crime gift that keeps on giving, and she's insufferable. And I I don't think you could ask for better ways to describe her than that. All right, y'all, we are coming up on 7 o'clock. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Hey, everybody, Derek Judd, the Cowboy Criminologist, here with Cowboy Criminology. Is the music not working? All of that and the music didn't work? It's not working, but you can hear it in your head. Okay. Let me try. Let me try one more time to play that. See if I can get it working again. It should work. I don't know why it wouldn't. All right, try this one more time. Oh, I think I got it. Here we go. Let's try it this time.
Out on the edge where the cold winds blow, truth runs deeper than the stories they told. Cowboy criminology, ride the line, getting to the truth behind true crime.
Hey, everybody, Derek Judd, the Cowboy Criminologist, here with Cowboy Criminology. Starting again because apparently not only do you have to share your screen, but you have to share the audio. That is the new Cowboy Criminology intro. And just so you know, Afro Man wrote that for me. Just kidding. I don't know Afro Man, but it does make it funny. And he is kind of on a roll with his music. He's having a lot of fun at those officers' expense. And you know what? When you decide to do goofy stuff, you kind of have that coming. So this is the very first live Cowboy Criminology YouTube podcast. And so my first time actually interacting with my subscribers live. So I want to thank everybody for giving up your Tuesday night to come spend some time with me. I want to first start off by acknowledging Dandy True Crime was not able to be here tonight. He said he'd try to rewatch from his while he's at work, but he's up to 932 subscribers. So if you're a subscriber for my channel and haven't had a chance to check him out, by all means, please go. He's up to 932 subscribers. Would love to see him hit 1,000. I will drop a link to his channel right here in the chat. Beth of a Salesman's here. Yay. I owe Beth an apology. A couple days ago, I was trying to set everything up, make sure everything was good. Miss Garbs was helping me out. And Beth got so excited seeing that I was live that she jumped on, and I had to explain that, this is just a trial run. So got her all excited for nothing, but I'm glad to see that she came back. Uh, yeah, so check out Dan D True Crime. Great channel, a lot of satirical humor, a lot of fun. So there's been a lot of interesting things happening. And the wonderful thing about having a true crime podcast is there's never any shortage of material. There's really not. Um, you can find some good stuff anywhere you look, and I am always up for suggestions. I do take requests for videos. So if there's something ever on your mind and you just kind of want to, excuse me, I'm getting over being sick, so I apologize. If there's ever something you're curious about, um, after finals next month, so this is going to be my last video. I'm going to post the last Zalima Pastinas video on Thursday, and then I'll be kind of quiet for about a month because I've got to study for finals, law school, right? But I have registered for my last year of classes, so we're almost 2/3 of the way done, and man, I will be glad when it's over. But it is good experience. It is good experience, and for me, it's a very logical progression. So very happy to be heading that direction. Um, my finals start in May, A to B, and in the summer, starting in May after finals, I'm going to bring back Serial Killer Saturdays. And if you haven't had a chance to check out my videos, I did a segment called Serial Killer Saturdays, and I take some lesser known kind of obscure serial killers and I'd talk about them because I mean, people have done Bundy and Gacy and Dahmer, pardon the expression, to death. And there's just very little that I can add to that. But A to B actually sent me a very interesting serial killer. I don't want to tell you who it is because I don't want y'all, going and looking stuff up on him yet. But she gave me a lot of firsthand knowledge or secondhand knowledge about this individual. And I've been looking at the material, and I am just very, very excited. Yeah, Serial Killer Saturdays was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was Darian Wartroop, and that was very, very that was very interesting. How he got caught was just fantastic. It was good police work. Also want to say hi to Katie Zed. Katie Zed, she's a friend of Cowboy Criminology. She found my channel looking up an attorney out of Michigan named Levi Smith, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about him. She's up to 6,800 subscribers. Love to see her get 7,000. So if you're not subscribed to her channel yet, would love to see that. So the Gilgo Beach serial killer, Rex Huermann, he just took a plea deal this week. And when he did that, some very interesting things happened. And one of the interesting things that happened was that he was originally charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder. His confession, or his plea agreement, got solved another unsolved case. So that takes him up to 8. Katie Zed's here. Yay. So that takes his confirmed numbers up to 8. Well, part of his plea agreement is that he's going to work with the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit. Now, for me, that's very exciting because I've got to be honest. for about the last 20 years, I've kind of lost faith in the FBI's behavioral analysis unit. And of course, it's not called that anymore, but that's what everybody knows it as. And that's because the FBI changed the way they do things. Agents are rotated in like every 3 years in order to be trained as profilers. Then they go back to their home office and they do other things besides profiling. So the FBI doesn't really have full-time profilers anymore, which to me is a shame. Now, I understand. Oh, I do like Pat Brown. I do like Pat Brown. Her book, it's about her daughter, saving your daughter's life or something like that. It's a very good book. She's interesting, and she kind of came into profiling similar to how I did. She read all the books, she read all the articles, she learned the psychology, and yeah, she's very good. Um, but the behavioral analysis unit doesn't have full time caseworkers anymore. And they did that because if you've ever seen the TV show Mindhunter or read the book Mindhunter by John Douglas, there's a scene in the TV show where after a meeting with Ed Kemper, um, Holton Ford has like an attack of some kind. And that's not really 100% what happened in real life. In real life, John Douglas was working the Green River Killer case up in Washington, and he had an attack of some kind of meningitis. Is a bacterial infection, nearly killed him. But the stress of the constant influx of cases and the things that he was exposed to, they started to realize that they needed to rotate people out. Well, the problem with that is when you do that, people aren't doing the road schools anymore, and they're not going to the prisons, and uh, they're not actually sitting down face to face with these killers and going through the serial killer protocol and actually learning what makes these individuals tick. Now, that's a very FBI way of going about things, because under J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI was all about, if we don't know it, we don't need to know it. And when Robert Ressler and John Douglas were going to doing their road schools and teaching local law enforcement officers, they were like, hey, you know who's incarcerated just over the hill here? We need to go talk to that person. Huge scandal in the FBI, but Robert Ressler, who knows that it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, he went out and backdated a memo, and which everybody knew was garbage, right? But because the culture of the FBI changed after J. Edgar Hoover died, there was more of a no, no, I take that back. No, John Douglas and Robert Ressler talked to him, but Robert Kepler is the one who really had the relationship with Ted Bundy, who really got Ted Bundy to open up. Robert Keppel, he did the Green River Killer. He did Bundy. If it happened in the Northwest, he was in on it. He's a fantastic speaker, and you can find stuff on him everywhere. But when the Bureau changed, they realized, okay, maybe there's something to learn, but they needed to be able to make sure that what they were doing had applicability not just to law enforcement, that it needed to be academically sound. So when they were trying to figure out how to do this, they came to the attention, or I should say, try to remember how I did this. A woman came to their attention by the name of Ann Burgess. Now, Ann Burgess is a clinical psychiatric nurse practitioner. Um, she has an understanding of criminology. I mean, I love my big three: Robert Ressler, John Douglas, Roy Hazelwood. Yeah, she truly is the OG. And let me share this with you if I can. So she helped write Serial Homicide: Patterns and Motives. That's a fantastic book, and that's with Ressler and Douglas. Um, ooh, Expert Witness. Oh, I didn't know she had a new one out. Ooh, y'all, I'm gonna have to get a new book. Um, Victims of Crisis, 1974, child pornography and sex rings. Y'all, 1984, she was bringing that to the people's attention. Like that's amazing. But she was the one who was bringing um, academic rigor to the serial killer study that the FBI was doing. And so what happened was Ann Burgess created a questionnaire, hundreds and hundreds of questions long. And the agents would take the case file from whoever they're going to interview. They filled out as much of the questionnaire as they could. And then they would go back, and if the inmate didn't want to be tape recorded, which was how they kept track of everything at the time, um, they would leave the interview, go back to the hotel room, and they'd fill in the questionnaire in as much detail as they possibly could. And it was up to Ann Burgess and her husband to go through all of that information and create scholastic data out of it. And that became the serial killer profile or serial killer profile protocol that we know today. And that's why we know certain types of offenders commit certain types of crime. Now, I'm sure we've all heard, the killer always returns to the scene of the crime. Well, that used to be just a law enforcement platitude. But it was that research that actually cemented that as, yeah, they do return to the scene of the crime. They go and visit grave sites. They go to memorials. They show up on anniversaries. They attend funerals. They will sometimes leave flowers, cards, gifts at family members' homes. They'll come back to the spot it happened. David Berkowitz, the son of Sam Killer, sometimes when he was out trolling for victims and couldn't find anybody, he'd go back to a spot where he had committed a crime, committed one of his shootings, and he would reminisce with himself about the incident. He was caught with a parking ticket. It's amazing the amount of information that we know, but I mean, if you're looking for a rock star in criminology, you'd have a really hard time having that conversation without talking about Ann Burgess. She's absolutely fantastic. But I want to share this with y'all. This is a quick news blurb about Rex Huermann and his plea agreement with the FBI, and this is actually very exciting to me. So we'll let this play. Perhaps.
Wearing a black suit and white button-up, the accused Gilgo Beach serial killer making a stunning admission before a packed courtroom.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
62-year-old Rex Huermann pled guilty to the murders of 7 women and admitted to an uncharged 8th killing of Karen Vergata, all strangled and dumped in remote parts of Long Island from 1993 to 2010. Long-awaited answers for victims' families.
Through every year, every setback, every unanswered question, I carried you with me, and I kept that promise. And today it has been done.
Investigators cracked the case through cell phone data and DNA from a trashed pizza crust, arresting Huermann in 2023. At his Massapequa Park home, investigators found nearly 280 guns, magazines covering the Gilgo Beach murders, and a disturbing document to plan out his kills. His attorney called today's guilty plea a relief for Huermann.
He certainly wanted to save the families of the victims the ordeal of going to trial, and coupled with saving his family that ordeal.
His now ex-wife and daughter, who were at court today, are the targets of a wrongful death lawsuit alleging they must have known what was happening. Their attorney says they had no knowledge or connection to the crimes.
My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. Their loss is immeasurable.
Rex Huermann is set to spend the rest of his life behind bars and has agreed to cooperate with the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. Tom?
All right, Emily Aketa, we thank you.
So interestingly enough, in that case, they actually reached out to Ann Burgess, and she talked to them about what that means to undergo that protocol. And I hope this is going to encourage the FBI to actually get back to doing those protocols, because they don't just have them for serial killers. They have them for serial rapists. They have them for bank robbers. They have them for assassins. They have them for school shooters. And these agents need to get back out there, and they need to start engaging in these protocols, because those protocols are what are going to break cases. Now, there was a couple of things in there. The news media, especially the more to one side, if you get my drift, will make a big deal out of firearms. But if you live in the South, 280 guns is kind of a promising start. But, you know, I've stopped vehicles with that many guns in the vehicle, and it's another day working Texas highways, you know. But Miss Garbs makes a good point. Yeah, he was creepy, and sometimes I wonder when these guys take these plea deals, because it's New York, right? New York and California. It's not like he's going to. The death penalty is an aspiration. It's not something that I think anybody thinks is, you know, is going to happen. When is, when was the last time you heard of anybody being executed in California or New York? But my theory is the game's over. He's caught. But I think he wants to relive this, and I think he wants to be able to tell somebody else. They do. Technically, it's on the books, but they're like California. I mean, they don't use it. It's, it's really wild, and that's why I always laugh at these, cop shows in New York, and they're talking about, you need to save your client the needle. Counselors, like, he's not going to get the needle. He'll be like Richard Ramirez, and he'll die of hepatitis before, a death sentence is carried out. But I think he wants to be able to relive those crimes and relive that rush in a different way. Is it possible that he's going to gain some insight? Yeah, he's an organized offender. And so kind of like Ed Kemper, the co-ed killer, I think you're going to see he probably has more insight into that. But the idea that we've learned everything that we can from serial killers and that there's nothing new to learn, that's just not true. Roy Hazelwood was one of the first law enforcement officers, I think, along with Pierce Brooks, very famous detective in LA in the 1950s, helped catch Harvey Glattman. Brooks and Hazelwood recognized immediately that as technology changes, so do your criminals. And we see that a lot. As a matter of fact, we've got kind of an interesting. Let me pull this up right quick. We've got kind of an interesting video that just shows kind of how the evolution of technology helps aid criminals and helps catch criminals. Has anybody been following the news about the Ring camera guy, Jason Nichols? Has anybody seen him? This guy's wild. Yeah, well, Illinois is another. Well, okay, so I'm glad that some people haven't heard of him. So it's always kind of nice to break something new. But let's take a look. Here we go. Okay. First thing, don't ever try to kick open somebody's door in sandals. Is there no sound again? Hold on a second. Let me. I thought it was letting me. Oh, here we go. Sorry. All right, let's try this again. I'm still learning, y'all.
Hi there. Can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just figured I'd check on something.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house.
Open this door. Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter, man?
What are you talking about?
Okay, so two things. One, don't ever try to kick in a door when you're wearing sandals. And if you're trying to be a tough guy, trench coat and sandals, not really the way to go about it. I don't know about y'all, but if somebody like this shows up on my Ring camera and they're asking for anybody in my family, they're not going to like what happens. Oh my gosh. So for those of y'all, we've got my former partner, Daniel, is in the chat room. He and I have worked together for a number of years. We actually cut our teeth together working in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Katie says this video is creepy, and if I was the wife in this situation, I would take new carpet. Oh my gosh. Katie said you were so right. You were so right. Yeah. I mean, that dude would have more problems than he'd know what to do with. But let's go ahead and we'll let him keep going because it only gets more bizarre.
Where's your daughter? Who's in there with you?
Bro, if you don't leave.
Open this door. I'm breaking it down. You understand me?
Leave my house. You don't.
Are you okay? Is everyone in this house okay?
What? Everyone's okay. What do you want?
Now, a little backstory. I found out that during this encounter, the wife and the daughter were actually hiding in the house. and the father is on his way to the house. He was at work. So yeah, can you imagine? I mean, this only gets more scary. Yeah, it's insane. And here's the thing. These Ring cameras, not only are they great evidence for law enforcement, but can you imagine how many times this happened before we had these kind of videos? Because this is not a new phenomenon. Yes, they did call 911. We'll pick it up right here.
Can you leave my house, please?
You open the door, please.
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
You know what my name is?
I don't know who you are. You don't belong in this neighborhood. That's for sure.
This is my neighborhood, though.
Yeah, I live there. I don't know you.
My name is Harry Dresden. Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the door.
For those of you who don't know, Harry Dresden is the name of a wizard in a fantasy book called the Dresden Files. And, this guy's like, I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking he's like the love child of Groucho Marx and David Berkowitz. Katie's head's on a terror today. Yeah. So, I mean, he's not only not good at doing any of this, but he's not very creative either. And his criminal sophistication is low. I mean, very, very low. Katie's head. He's definitely a Reddit moderator. Yeah, he probably is. But we'll... it's just wild to me. And so the scary thing is you have to wonder, how did this individual come to know where this young lady lived, where her house was? How did he know? And I think, parents are giving out tablets and phones, and there's what's the other Minecraft? It's not Minecraft, but Roblox. There was a huge deal on there. They paid a huge fine because child predators were learning how to, or were using it to gain access to victims, and scary things happening. But we'll keep going with this.
Now, or I will end you. Do you understand me?
Terroristic threat. So you can go on and you can find, he actually does get into the house. The father runs in, arms himself with a snow shovel. And this is in California, which I think is a little odd, to have a snow shovel in California. But you know what? I'm not going to judge. Yeah, Billie Jean, you're right. That's really the only powerful thing he has on him. Yeah, I was just getting to that. Katie said, yeah, the footage from the inside. I wish it's unfortunate that they don't have the continuous camera footage, like everybody's chopped it up. But he does get in. He does get inside. The mother and daughter were actually hiding in the house. The father comes in, does a pretty good job de-escalating with the guy. Asks him if he's military, and of course, the guy says he's in the military, uh, or has military training. But people like that would lie to you about other stuff too. If he served in any branch of the military, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the ground forces, and I'm pretty sure it involved very little hand-to-hand combat. But I think if I was taking the over/under on whether he was in the military or not, I'm overwhelmingly certain that no, he was not in the military. But yeah, if you get a chance, look up the footage on YouTube when he gets inside. It's absolutely terrifying, and it's weird when you have, the internet has just made the world so much smaller, but in a lot of ways, it's made it far more dangerous. And so, one of the things to think about, and that kind of reminded me while I was looking at this video, it reminded me of a video I did on a guy named Levi Smith. Katie said, "You're killing me." It reminded me of, and actually, this is how Katie Zed and I met. Um, she was looking for some kind of content on Levi Smith, and she was having trouble believing that nobody had done anything on it. Well, that's how she found my channel. And I get an email from her, and she's like, "Hey, I found your channel looking for stuff on Levi Smith. You were the only one who did anything." And she's like, "I spent the entire weekend binge watching all of your videos." So that's how she and I came to know each other. And she's been a huge friend to Cowboy Criminology, and very grateful to have her. She's always a big supporter for my channel. So thank you, Katie Zed. And I sent a link to you sent a link for y'all to check out that. If you're going to binge watch content, I mean, it might as well be Cowboy Criminology. I mean, you could load up with Power Rangers or, How I Met Your Mother, but I mean, really might as well do Cowboy Criminology and learn something. But the Levi Smith video is very similar, except Levi Smith went to a former colleague's in the middle of the night with a kill kit, masks, gags, gloves, duct tape, handcuffs, knives, firearms. That's not a casual outing for anybody. Well, I guess it is if you're a complete sociopath. But in general, most people don't run around with that stuff. So I got curious because I hadn't heard anything about him. And I found this article from back in February that shows that he has, in fact, been sentenced to 3 years, or between 3 to 5 years in Michigan. I don't think that was enough time. I think that he is way too dangerous to give that short of a sentence to. Beth the salesman, yeah, that's that's what I think a lot of people don't understand about the value of criminology is better watch out, Katie said. Mrs. Garbs is after your title. She's on a tear now too. Hi, another one to say. It's good. Thank you so much for being here. Glad you could stop in. Yes, Billie Jean. He is an escalation. And I want you to think about this, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. But from a criminological standpoint, that is not that's not behavior that somebody just decides, wakes up one morning and says, tonight's the night, this is what I'm going to do. That's a behavior that you build up to. So that means, and this is the scary part, it means he had this woman under surveillance. But because he's a first time offender and lacked the criminal sophistication and the confidence, I would imagine there were at least 2 or 3 other women who didn't realize that they could have been victims too. Let that sink in for a minute. That's pretty wild, right? So, man, it's I think overly confident, Mrs. Garbs. I really do. I think he was A to B. How would anybody feel safe in a situation like that? I mean, Michigan's another one of those states that's kind of catch and release with their criminals. And, I don't know if y'all kind of notice a pattern with that, but it seems like it's terrible. Now, I will tell you, don't want to give out too much of the video because I wanted to deprive y'all of watching the Levi Smith video, but she had an amazing alarm system installed because she lived alone. She's also an attorney. She took a lot of precautions to take care of herself. And, I think it's like that old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I really think, I really think that's words to live by right there. The police showed up. They caught him a couple doors down. He was trying to hide. But yeah, they got him. I would have loved to have seen courtroom video of him taking a plea. Yeah, Billie Jean, I think I think in a lot of ways, I think that's why prosecutors' offices really should have criminologists on staff, because a criminologist would be able to point out that escalation in behavior. And I understand that there are constraints within the law, but there are also enhancements, because this wasn't just an attempted unlawful entry. This was stalking. This was harassment. And those things need to be, I don't think I'm comfortable with anything less than 10 years with this guy. And, I'd kind of want to know something about, I don't know, medication, shock therapy, something. Like what is the plan to actually rehabilitate this individual? And I worry because I don't know. Miss Garbs, I don't know anybody who has a criminologist on staff to kind of deal with these things. I think a lot of times once the conviction happens, once the plea happens, everybody's just like, well, job done. Well, the job's not done. The job's not done. You've still got the victim you need to take care of, and you still got to ensure that victim stays safe. And how do you do that if you don't understand the risk that this individual poses to the general public. You know, what if while he's in prison, he becomes fixated on a female correctional officer, female staff member? You know, who knows? Uh, oh, 3 5-year sentences. Okay, thank you, Katie said. Well, I feel a lot better about that now. So 3 5-year sentences. Okay. Look at Katie Zed coming in clutch. No, he probably won't. But my concern is what if he becomes fixated on a female staff member? He's already got the propensity, and I sincerely doubt that's going anywhere. So, you know, it's just that's tough. I'm glad he got 15 years. You know, on the high side, he'll probably do 8, unless they give him 5 years flat for each sentence. That would be good. But yeah, that's pretty insane. I remember watching the video and just thinking, wow, this guy threw his career away, threw his life away. Oh, Beth of a Salesman, good question. Yeah, consecutive or concurrent? Katie said, did they say? Yeah, that's an important distinction right there. If it's Michigan, though, I'd almost be willing that they're going to run concurrent. So some states do something called indeterminate sentencing, which I kind of like. Indeterminate sentencing is Control F, Katie Z, Control F. Katie Zed's awesome. She's doing research. That's great. There's something called indeterminate sentencing where they can sentence somebody to a minimum and then resentence them if they still believe that somebody is going to be a threat later on in the future. Some jurisdictions don't like that. I think for the right type of offender, I think it's great. In Norway, they have indeterminate sentencing. And so the maximum sentence you're supposed to be able to spend in prison is 21 years in Norway. But for a heinous crime, they have the ability to resentence that offender in 5-year increments, which I think is interesting. And basically, it's their way of saying that somebody is beyond rehabilitation, which for a country like Norway really says a lot. It's pretty fantastic. So yeah, so this was also a request. Kind of getting to the fun part now. I've watched this video a few times, and normally when you watch my channels, I do a live react. I'm watching an interrogation, or I'm watching a video for the first time, to give my honest first sense impressions. But the Kouri Richins 911 call, I approached a little different. And the reason I approached it a little different is because it's evidentiary. And I wanted to make sure that as I was watching this, I was giving it the same scrutiny that I would as if I was the detective who was assigned to the case. So I ended up watching, what did we watch the other day? We watched 2020 did a special about Kouri Richins. And how many of y'all are familiar with the Kouri Richins trial? That was crazy. I remember watching that, and just trying to get a feel for the case, right? And what caught me is the body cam video where, okay, so concurrent, but will be an actual 5 years. Yeah. I'm all for him staying there. Yeah, that was a hard case. And I was watching, and on the body camera video, you could hear Kouri and her sister-in-law yelling at each other. Because there's a lot of information about this case I didn't have. I didn't know that her mother-in-law made her sign a prenup, like as she's walking down the aisle. You know, so like immediately there are some definite trust issues in this family, right? There's a lot of things going on that that kind of have you wonder, was everybody wary of her from the beginning? Was, did everybody think that she was just this gold digger or a bad person? But when the sister-in-law was yelling at Kouri and blatantly, I mean, no innuendo, no nothing, I mean, flat out accused her in front of law enforcement of killing her husband, I thought, wow. Like, but then I found out later on that the sister-in-law was actually the executor of, remind me of the husband's name again. This is what happens when you go to law school. You read so many cases, you remember so many names and everything. Everything runs together. And I can't remember his name, Eric. So Eric had set up a trust for the boys and made his sister the executor of that trust and wrote Kouri out of it. Oh, I didn't see that, Katie said. I mean, I hate that defense attorneys do that. Like, I understand, it's on one hand, I understand it, but just because I understand it doesn't mean I agree with it, doesn't mean I like it. But yeah, there was just so much in there. And before he died, like he went to see a divorce attorney. I mean, oh my gosh, like you got to imagine that this marriage had a lot of trouble, and it just seemed like it was kind of getting to the point where Eric realized that there just wasn't any saving it, which is a sad thing, right? I mean, nobody goes into a marriage, thinking, looking at their watch saying, man, I can't wait till this is over. Nobody does that. But there just comes a point where you just gotta go. And you look at everything that was stacking up. So you got the fact that she was written out of the trust. She had no idea. Bad lawyering on both sides, but I persevered. Oh, Miss Gars and Katie said, y'all are on one today. So we got a lot of people who are fans of Sarah Boone, if you want to call them that. Who's worse, Sarah Boone or Kouri Richins? Oh, another one to say, thankfully listened to his sister-in-law, and she thinks Kouri married him for the house. Yeah, I think so. I think she was kind of a social climber. But that leads me to the guy she was having the affair with. Was that just a toy boy to make her feel good? What you know? He wasn't. I don't want to say he wasn't intelligent. I mean, he just seemed like a fall guy. Katie said, so I haven't, but Dandy True Crime has been doing a lot of those videos, a lot of those phone calls, and he has a hilarious take on those. So if you haven't checked him out yet, Katie Zed, it's Dandy True Crime, and if somebody's got a link to his channel, if you could put that in there, it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I mean, you're sitting here and you're like, there's just so much, like in the initial body camera video, that you're just like, this deserves another look. Oh my gosh. A to B says the private investigator said the paramour carried a card in his wallet saying Kouri killed Eric, and if he himself died, Kouri did it. Whoa. Yes, Billie Jean. Yes, say that with all caps. Sarah Jean, or Sarah was not intentional. Non compos mentis. Katie Zed. See, there's all these things that nobody tells you about doing this stuff. You don't have a moderator. Try to be your own producer. That's a link to Dandy True Crime right there. But I thought we'd take a listen to the Kouri Richins to the Kouri Richins 911 tape. And if y'all have something to write with to kind of keep track of, take a few notes and just see if you kind of come to the same conclusions that I did. And so I'm going to bring that up here in just a second, if I can remember how I went about doing that the last time. And I am going to try to make sure that we all have sound. Hang on a second. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all are making my night. Thank you all so much for being here. All right, so this is the Kouri Richins 911 tape.
To admit and publish State's Exhibit 2-40D, the 911 call.
Any objection, counsel?
No objection.
Okay. Scott, let's give this a try.
911, what's the address of the emergency? My husband's not breathing. He's cold. Okay, what's the address? 282 Willow Court. 282 Willow Court? Uh-huh. Okay, what's the good phone number in case we get disconnected? 435 671 4987. Okay, is this going to be in Francis? Okay, tell me exactly what happened. I don't know. I just came in. I was sleeping with my kids. Okay, I can't understand you. I need you to take a deep breath. What's going on? I don't know. I was sleeping in with my kids. I just came in our bed, and I turned over, and he's just cold. He's just cold. Who's cold? My husband. I turned the light off, and he's not breathing? He's not breathing? No. I need you to confirm it for me. Is he not breathing? No. Okay, can you do CPR? No. You don't know. I'm going to tell you how to. Are you willing to do CPR? If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it. No, please not. Available? Okay. I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay? Okay, are you right by your husband right now? Yes, he's so pale. His mouth is open. Okay, listen carefully. Are you able to lay him on the floor or the ground? On the floor, on the ground? I'm just shaking. I can't put him. I can't. You can do it. You can do it. You need to calm down. We need to help them. I can guide you through CPR. Take a deep breath for me. I'm here with you. He doesn't have a pulse. He doesn't have a pulse? No. There's no pulse. Okay. I'm here with you. I'm here with you. We need to get him help. If you need to put me on speaker, put me on speaker. I'm gonna guide you through CPR, okay? Okay. Tell me when you've done that. Okay, I'm ready. You're ready? Okay, he's on the floor? He's on the bed. Okay, are you able by any chance to move him on the floor? Okay. Happening. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I'm here with you. You're not able to move him to the floor? Go out. Don't come in here. Oh my God, my sister. You're not able to move him to the floor? Just listen carefully. We just need to get him on the floor. Don't worry about hurting them. Tell me it's a daddy. Is he still on the bed? Yes. Okay, if there's a sheet or a blanket under them, can you loosen it from the mattress? Yes. Okay, stand at the side of the bed closest to them and remove anything under their head. Okay. I need you to pull the sheets towards you and slide them off the bed. Don't worry about him falling. We just need to help him now. Okay. Tell me when he's on the floor. I can't move it. This was dead weight. Like this. You're not. If he has sheets under, pull them to the floor. Don't worry about hurting him. Can you please send somebody? Okay, I have the ambulance that's on the way. Okay, there's another way to do this, okay? Grab their feet. Grab his feet. Okay. Slide them towards you until they're just off the bed. Okay. How old is your husband? 39. 39? Yes. Okay. Okay, were you able to pull his feet off the bed? And pulling. Okay, now grab the arm closest to you and pull the rest of the way off the bed. Again, don't worry about the fall. We just need to help them now. I have the ambulance on the way. I just need you to do this, okay? So we can get the help for him. Okay. Once they arrive, they'll take over. We just need to start CPR now. You are doing great, okay? I just need you to get him on the floor. Okay, he's on the floor. You got him on the floor? Yeah. Okay, listen carefully, okay? Make sure that there's nothing under his head. Is he laying flat on his back? Yeah. Okay. Okay, just listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions, okay? Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone. This is in the center of the chest, right between the nipples. Put your other hand on top of that hand. Okay. Stop pumping the chest hard and fast, at least twice per second, and 2 inches deep. Okay. Start counting out loud so I can count with you. Okay. We're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count out loud so I can hear you. I'm counting with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. If it's easier for you, am I on speaker? Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know the front door is open? No, it's locked. It's locked. I need you to go. Is there anybody else within the home, or is it just you? It's all my kids. Okay. Are one of them old enough to go unlock the door? Yeah, it's unlocked. It's unlocked now? Yeah, he's here. Okay, you need to keep doing CPR. Okay. Should I keep on the phone? Yes, keep me on the phone. Go unlock the door and come back to doing CPR. Okay,
Firefighter Monaco is on scene. I'm beginning CPR, chest compressions.
Okay, is the ambulance there with you?
Yes. Not yet. Ambulance is en route.
Oh. Okay, are we doing CPR still? Yes, he's doing CPR. He's doing CPR right now. Okay. Oh my God. What kind of vehicle do you have outside? I don't have a vehicle outside.
White Toyota 4Runner.
Okay, did a paramedic take over?
Paramedics haven't arrived yet. We're in the back bedroom.
Ma'am, who's there with you? Can you hear me? Okay. When did you left?
So I'm watching the comments in here, and it's some of y'all. I hope y'all know that I wasn't laughing, obviously at the situation when they're showing his dad, or showing Eric's dad. You know, of course, I always try to give the utmost respect to the victims and their families. Some of the comments in here were were pretty wild. Let's see. I want to go back through the comments because some of y'all hit on some really good stuff. Miss Garbs asked, "Why do people who fake cry force their high pitched voice?" A to B says started with the alibi story. Katie Z brought up something interesting. She said, "It's funny how murderers can always cry without tears. I can't do that no matter how bad. I don't want to mess up my mascara." One of the things I pointed out when Dan D had me on his show and we were going over one of my videos, Sarah Boone had a box of Kleenex right there next to her, but she did that Sally Field, you know, crying and then all of a sudden just changes to a completely different emotion. Like when people are genuinely crying, like the mucus loosens in the nose, you know, their mouth can sometimes become like overly saturated and they kind of start drooling. They'll get tears. It's weird because it's not something you really think about, but we've all seen somebody just crying like that. Think the ugly crying. We've all seen that. And when that's absent in a situation where you'd expect to see that, that's pretty wild. Ms. Garb says she was dressed so cute when the first responders arrived, kept her face covered, fake cried the entire time. Yeah, I kind of picked up on that too. A to B says I can't move it. Yeah, that struck me wrong too. Ms. Garb says it's dead weight. Dead weight, really. And then A to B, I didn't know this, but her attorney literally started their opening playing the 911 tape. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for them. That is horrible. That just seems like a horrific idea. Another one said the sound of his body hitting the floor would have been heard on the call. I thought I heard his body hit, but I need to listen a little more carefully for that. Katie said, "Yeah, you know what? If you got time, you know, maybe we can collaborate on something, and we can kind of take a look at those cases if you'd like. You know, I'm always up for working with you. We always have a great time together." Another one to say doesn't think he was ever on the bed. Okay, so the A to B said the phone expert said that the phone was never on speaker. I think that's wild. But one of the things that I was concerned about is like, and I don't know if they ever talked to whoever was first on scene doing compressions after her, but when that cartilage lets loose, the chest feels different. And so I've got to wonder, did she actually ever do chest compressions? Did anyone else pick up on that? Is that my paranoia getting the better with me? I don't think so, but I mean, there's just so many things that just don't make sense. Katie said, yeah, we totally need levity to get through. Yeah, Billie Jean, that's a great point. You know, everyone agrees, everyone responds to trauma differently. You're so right about that. But yeah, there's being in control of your emotions, and then there's being devoid of emotion. And I think most people can pick out the difference. Hi, Casey. Thank you so much for showing up. It's good to have you. Yeah, Katie said, I think that's a great point. She didn't sound out of breath. Billie Jean, she may have done some. She mentioned blood on his face in the 911 call. Yeah, I seem to remember somebody saying something like that and thinking he may have had an aneurysm, and that just didn't seem to jive. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of things. So I want to go back through and kind of break this down. Just tell you kind of what I saw. Some of you are picking it up. Um, well, I mean, Miss Garbs, you had to do chest compressions in your former field of work, uh, at least one time, didn't you? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and I mean, and here's the thing: if you've ever done CPR on somebody, if you've ever done chest compressions, they're you don't ever forget that feeling. I hope I never have to do it again. But yeah, there's a so the chest does feel different, doesn't it, Miss Garbs? Like if you take over compressions for somebody, it's yeah, things don't feel right. But I want to go back through the call again, and we'll just kind of take this step by
Your Honor,
step.
the state moves to admit and publish State's Exhibit 2-40D, the 911 call.
Any objection, counsel?
No objection.
Okay. Scott, let's give this a try.
911, what's the address of the emergency? My husband's not breathing. He's cold. Okay, what's the address? 282 Willow Court. 282 Willow Court. Okay, what's a good phone number in case we get disconnected? 435 671 1987. Okay, is this going to be in Francis? Okay, tell me exactly what happened. I don't know. I just came in. I was sleeping with my kids.
Okay, so right there, that was actually kind of a red flag for me. I understand if you have small children's, sometimes they don't like going to sleep. Sometimes they're afraid of the dark. As a kid, I'm going to tell on myself, I was afraid of everything, and I was an incredibly sensitive child. So, um, okay, Katie said. Um, but I was terrified of everything. I was overly sensitive to everything. Uh, so sometimes I could understand staying with your child while they're asleep, but especially after seeing that body camera video and then listening to the 911 call, that would tell me that this may not be the happiest of relationships, because usually staying with, if one of the spouses is sleeping in the children's room, that's kind of a sign that something's wrong. There's a comedian I like named Christopher Titus, and in his Love is Evil special, he talks about how his wife used to sleep in the kids' room, and he asked her, "What are they giving you that I don't?" And he said it was a really creepy conversation to be having. Um, yeah, maybe he snores, but you kind of contextualize these things, and you kind of start picking up on what is or is not, and nothing's definitive, right? Nothing's definitive, but we're either trying to confirm a suspicion or we're trying to dismiss it, right? Uh, oh, oh, Mr. Zed, welcome. Uh, Heard a lot about you, but this is the first time I'm seeing you pop up. So thank you so much for being here. Glad to have you. Uh, the kids have snacks. All right, so we'll pick it up here.
I can't understand you. I need you to take a deep breath. What's going on? I don't know. I just I was sleeping in with my kids. I just came in the bed, in our bed, and I turned over, and he's just cold. He's just cold. Who's cold? My husband. I keep the light on. He's not breathing? He's not breathing? No. I need you to confirm it for me. Is he not breathing? No. Okay, can you do CPR? No. You don't know. I'm going to tell you how to. Are you willing to do CPR? Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who are parents, does anybody think that a mother with small children not knowing how to do CPR in this day and age is odd? That seems odd to me that, in an era of helicopter parents, you have a mother who doesn't know how to do CPR. Behavioral panel has a checklist for. I want to compare that checklist that he has to my crime scene staging checklist. And Casey, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, in a situation like that. So if you followed my channel for any length of time, you've heard me talk about the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, act, and that loop can be disturbed very easily. But what I found is, in a crisis situation, you can use that OODA loop to your advantage, because you can get people to focus on doing something, doing one thing. And in this case, like having somebody do CPR. Yeah, and A to B, that's a great point. Even if you don't know how to do it and you really want to help, follow the dispatcher's instructions. This is supposed to be somebody you love, so the love of your life. And I mean, if there was any chance of getting a loved one back, I would, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm curious about that, because I actually did my master's capstone project was on crime scene staging and recognizing when a crime scene is staged. And here we go. And here's the interesting thing. When people stage a crime, it doesn't matter what the crime, when they stage the crime and they report it to law enforcement, this is their first time staging a crime. And so they're staging it the way they think it looks right. But law enforcement and other first responders, it's not their first time responding to these type of emergencies. So, it's that's right. You're a Marine too, aren't you, Mr. Zed? I love the OODA loop. I love it. I use that in all of my training. I think it's so effective. But you can take somebody in a hoorah, Mr. Zed. You can take somebody in an emergency situation and you can rewire their OODA loop, and you can actually make them productive in an emergency. It's fantastic. It borders on hypnosis. But we'll pick it up here and see what else we've got. I mean, there's a lot. Like this one video could be a complete class on its own.
Okay. If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it. No, thank God. Available? Okay, I'm sending.
Did anyone else think it was weird that she didn't ask what a defibrillator was? Like, depending on your work environment, if you work in a school, a hospital, police department, hospital, nursing facility, like I'd expect you to know what a defibrillator is. But if you have no CPR experience, doesn't it seem odd that everybody? I'm back. I think that fixed the problem. I hope it did. Do y'all have me back now? Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know. That was very frustrating. I'm so sorry about that. Um, let me let's see here. Try this one more time. So Mr. Zed gave me permission to blame Katie Zed for technical difficulties. So I'm going to take that get out of jail free card because this is my first time. No, I promise I'm not just tension building. Um, so yeah, the automatic external defibrillator, her not having any experience, but no seeming to know exactly what that was. That seemed weird to me. Um, so yeah, we'll keep going here. Okay, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, he's just yellow, and I'm trying to think. Like I know liver disease will cause somebody to turn yellow, but yeah, Billie Jean, everything was going so good too. I know liver disease will make somebody turn yellow, but um, standard question to ask, yeah. Um, I don't know. There's just we're 2.5 minutes into the call, and we're already getting a lot of good stuff. A good point, Billie Jean. Yeah, so as somebody who has lost a family member to violence, sometimes I don't know if sometimes I don't know if it's worse to have closure and know what happened or if it's worse to not know what happened. I I don't know. And to think that somebody was taken from you by somebody who was supposed to love your person, I think that just hits at a whole different level. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what the Richins family is going through and those boys. I mean, what a now, Casey, that's a great question about her affect. Having heard her actual speaking voice, I don't know if it's dispositive of anything, but as a criminologist, I tend to focus on not so much how you say, but how you say it. And I'm not talking about the affect of the voice, but there are certain things that should be there that aren't, and certain things that people say in situations like this that she hasn't said. Um, oh, Katie said, good point. Yeah. Yeah, in the talk show interview, she did kind of have the preppy kind of cheerleader vibe, didn't she? Oh, Miss Garbs, wow. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't really think there's a good answer. And I mean, this is certainly one of those times where, you just, I think you just kind of have to accept that nobody's pain is going to be any worse than anybody else's. Um, that interview was really weird. And, it's funny to watch the two hosts of that show who were talking to her. They even kind of said that they felt like something was off afterwards. And I mean, man, yeah. And the whole, she wrote a book about helping children get over grief. I mean, where do you find the nerve? I mean, but interesting legal fact. I mean, that book is still available for publication, and do the rights to that book go to the boys as part of their estate because she can't make any money off of it. Uh, oh, okay, planned fashion choice. All right, all right. I didn't mean to notice the lawyers disclosed it. No sound on the video. Man, I am just batting 1,000 with colossal mishaps tonight. Okay. Fortunately, we haven't missed anything. So.
Talk about it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I'm here with you. You're not able to move him to the floor?
Do we have audio now?
Go out. Don't come in there. Don't come in there. Oh my God, my sister. You're not able to move him to the floor?
Mr. Zed, as much as I'd love to keep blaming Katie, like, I kind of need her in my corner, so I feel like I have to tread a very fine line there. She started the script over again. Yeah, that's a good catch right there. Yeah, she's right back to that whole thing.
Just listen carefully. We just need to get
This is
on
where
the
it
floor.
starts
Don't
to
worry
get
about
really
hurting
good.
them. Tell me it's a daddy. Is he still on the bed? Okay, if there's a sheet or a blanket under them, can you loosen it from the mattress? Yes. Okay, stand at the side of the bed closest to them and remove anything under the head. Okay. Okay. I need you to pull the sheets towards you and slide them off the bed. Don't worry about him falling. We just need to help him now. Okay. Tell me when he's on the floor. I can't move it. This was dead weight. Like it.
I can't move it. It's just dead weight. Who replies to a loved one, or who describes their loved one as it and dead weight? Neurolinguistically, that is a very Katie said, I've been very blessed. I've had good subscribers from the get go, and Dan D introduced me to just a fantastic audience. So yeah, and I do want to do more lives. I was telling everybody at the beginning that I'm probably going to be taking a break for about a month so I can focus on finals, but I'll be back in the summer, and I'm going to bring back serial killer Saturdays too. So excited about that. But if you'd like to do a live and I can just pop in as a guest and I'd sure love to do that with you sometime, Katie said. We always have a great time. Uh, My dead husband's just dead weight is only something you should say about your living husband. I hope my wife doesn't think of me that way. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, those slip of the tongues, Casey, those slip of the tongues, I'm telling you, they're a window to the soul because people in an emergency like this, they don't talk about people they love that way. That is wild. And you know what, Mr. Zed, I've got you. All right. Solidarity.
You're not. If he has sheets under, pull them to the floor. Don't worry about hurting him.
Y'all are wild in the chat today.
Okay, I have the ambulance that's on the way. Okay, there's another way to do this.
Okay, please send somebody. I can't. That's another thing. And Miss Garbs, I wonder, in behavioral panel, I think is who you said. I wonder if in their kit checklist for dispatchers, if they talk about asking for help for them, but not for the victim. In my crime scene staging class, that was a huge red flag. Yeah, people do make that mistake a lot. Katie said, yeah, talking about people because implying talking about somebody in the past tense implies knowledge. Like, why would you talk about them like that? And I mean, in that situation, you're hoping for any type of miracle. A to B, good point about Scott Peterson. I did a video on him. I've never liked him. I thought he was a scumbag the first time I saw him on the news, and when he went to prison and became Scotty Too Hottie, my opinion did not increase about him. Yeah, giving an alibi first, good. Yeah, very good. That's a good catch, Miss Garbs. Yeah. So if you think about it, she had a reason for not being in the bedroom with Eric. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much, Mr. Zed. I mean, you've got witnesses. You're among friends. And Billie Jean, that's a great point. I can imagine, please help me. Please help me. Yeah, please help my husband. But it's like she's given up. And in my experience, people in that situation, they're focused on that individual, and she's focused on her. Yeah, Casey, great point. Great point. Y'all, this is why I love my channel, and I wish it would grow faster than it has, but at the same time, I love the conversations. I love the comments that I get to read. I don't know. There's just something about true crime. I really think some of the comments that I've responded to and some of the chats that I've been a part of, I think a lot of these have been better than the conversations I had when I was actually going for my master's in criminal justice and criminology. Oh, great point, Billie Jean. Yeah, she says I can't, like she's grossed out. Yeah, Katie said, very good point. Yeah, I mean, you'd be screaming for some kind of reaction. Oh, Mr. Zed, you're dead on, sir. You are absolutely dead on.
Okay, grab their feet. Grab his feet. Slide them towards you.
They're so interchangeable, aren't they, Ms.
So
Garbs?
they're just off the bed. Okay. How old is your husband? 39. 39? Okay, were you able to put his feet off the bed? I'm pulling. Okay, now grab the arm closest to you and pull the rest of the way off the bed. Again, don't worry about the fall. We just need to help them now. I have the ambulance on the way. I just need you to do this, okay? So we can get the help for him. Okay. Once they arrive, they'll take over. We just need to start CPR now. You are doing great, okay? I just need you to get him on the floor. Okay, he's on the floor. You got him on the floor?
Okay, right there at about 6:48, 6:49. I want to say I hear something in the background. I want to say I feel like I hear a thud in the background, but I'm not 100% sure. I really wish I could find the original 911 recording because I could turn the volume up on that a little better. Mr. Zed, that's a great question. And it has to do with the psychological perception that a more demure look on a defendant, especially a female defendant, has on the jury. Oh, wow, Billie Jean, that's a great point. She had one Moscow Mule and one shot several hours earlier. She's not. Yeah, I don't think so. But maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't really think she's drunk. Yeah, see, A to B, perfect point right there. Yeah, the Casey Anthony case is another one. That one always just sticks with me. And here's the thing. I'm not mad at the defense in that case. The defense did what defense attorneys do. I'm mad at the prosecutor. If he'd have charged her on the 5 or 6 felonies he had her dead to rights on, she'd still be in prison. But, and even the detective said, we can't prove murder. Y'all, this is why people don't need to mess with people who find relaxation and recreation in true crime. We know too much. Ms. Carps just said, I didn't hear the autopsy testimony. I wonder what lividity was. If he died in bed, it'd be different than a pattern on the floor. Dead on. Dead on. That is pathology 101. And speaking of which, Werner Spitz and a gentleman named Dr. Henry Lee, who unfortunately just passed away a few months ago, are the premier pathologist in the world. And you can actually find books written by them, Werner Spitz and Henry Lee, on Amazon. Fantastic books if you're just interested in like the medical side of true crime. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, listen carefully, okay? Make sure that there's nothing under his head. Is he laying flat on his back? Yeah. Okay.
Agreed, Mr. Zed.
Listen
Agreed.
carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions, okay? Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone,
Totally.
which is in the center of the chest, right between the nipples. Okay. Put your other hand on top of that hand. Okay. Stop pumping the chest hard and fast, at least twice per second, and 2 inches deep. Okay. Start counting out loud so I can count with you. Okay. We're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count out loud so I can hear you. I'm counting with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm hearing something in the background, but I can't tell if I'm hearing chest compressions or if I'm hearing something different. Are y'all able to hear that? It sounds like there's something in the background, but And this is the part right here. Is she actually doing chest compressions, or what is she? Is she just pounding on the floor, tapping her foot? I don't know, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of distance between her phone and her voice. Like, it doesn't seem like it's sat down and she's doing the compressions and she's talking. But y'all have already said, like, she's not out of breath, and for anybody who's ever done CPR, yeah, I mean, chest compressions, you can skip arm and chest day for 2 weeks off of that, Uh, yeah, I think there's just so many things wrong with this.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. If it's easier for you, am I on speaker? Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know the front door is open? No, it's locked. It's locked. I need you to go. Is there anybody else within the home, or is it just you? It's all my kids.
Interestingly enough, that's the one part of this 911 call that makes sense. Is your door locked? Yes. This time of night, why wouldn't it be? That's like the one part of this 911 call that actually seems to scan with any of the story that she's given.
Okay, are one of them old enough to go unlock the door? Yeah, it's unlocked. It's unlocked now? Yeah, he's here. Okay, you need to keep doing CPR.
Yeah, seconds later, it's unlocked. Like, did she do that from her phone?
Okay. Do I keep you on the phone? Yes, keep me on the phone. Go unlock the door and come back to doing CPR.
Okay, Firefighter Monaco is on scene. I'm beginning CPR, chest compressions.
Okay, is the ambulance there with you?
It's fair, Billie Jean. That's fair.
Not yet. The ambulance is en route.
Oh. Okay, are we doing CPR still? Yes, he's doing CPR. He's doing CPR right now. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Your parents didn't lock their door and y'all lived in Chicago? That's wild. I don't care what part of Chicago you live in. That's wild. Wow. That's like destined to be on a milk carton there. They were hoping for a cloud visit. Oh, Casey. I think that'd be interesting if you could get a hold of her phone and see if during that time, like if she had like a fitness tracker on her phone, see if she was taking steps. Oh my gosh. Did you live in Des Plaines? Ugh. That's got creepy. It'll never use. And I don't know if you've gotten to that part in my book, Katie Zed, where I talk about the Chicago Ripper crew, Robin Gecht. He actually did work for John Wayne Gacy as a contractor at the beginning of his serial killer career and at the end of John Wayne Gacy's career. Super, super weird. A lot of people wondered if they actually had any knowledge of each other, but just two ships passing in the night. But man, can you imagine if they started talking shop? Oh, that's just too much. That's just too much. And if y'all are interested, I did write a book, Monsters Have Always Walked Among Us. It's a book about how serial killers help create the monsters that we fear. And it's a historical perspective on the first origins, or what I believe the first origins of serial killer stories are, and how we've come to interpret that into the modern era. So if you're interested in that, there's a link to the book on Amazon. And if you already have a copy, I'd appreciate it if you leave a good review on there. Good reviews sell products on Amazon. So thank you so much, Katie Z. Oh, excellent, A to B. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, if you get into it and you really start to enjoy it, I'd appreciate it if you leave me a review on Amazon, because studies show that people are more likely to buy when they see good reviews on anything on Amazon. Thank you so much, Miss Garbs.
What kind of vehicle do you have outside? Me? I don't have a vehicle outside.
Okay, that real high pitched voice, like, why is that a ridiculous question? I don't have a vehicle outside. That right there is just incredibly, it doesn't match the aesthetic of everything else that she's put together. And I think that's when you kind of see that break. Casey, you can always hit me up. I've got book recommendations for you. You will never run out of stuff to read. Just hey, Cowboy Criminologist, what are you reading? Trust me, I've got great recommendations for you.
White Toyota 4Runner.
Okay, did a paramedic take over?
Paramedics haven't arrived yet. We're in the back bedroom.
So, who did she call? Who unlocked the door? Who is this person? Because I don't think it's a male. It sounds like a female to me. Like, where did this person come from? Who is this person? Do we ever find out? If you followed the trial, what do you? Does anybody know who this person is? The female's the first paramedic, but is this the female? Does she just have a really deep voice for a female? Yeah, Casey, great point. That's what somebody on speaker sounds like. So yeah, like, this just doesn't. None of this is really tracking. None of this is really scanning with what we normally think of. But is this a neighbor who called? How did they know that somebody was in distress? Did one of the kids go out and get somebody? Like, it just seems so random that this person just magically shows up, and so I think that's where a little more context about the 911 call. But these are the types of things that are like, as an investigator, I'd want to go back and be like, okay, heard it on the scanner. Okay, that tracks. I can work with that. But as an investigator, of course, I'd want to go back through, and I'd want to take this second by second. Y'all are so smart.
Ma'am, who's there with you? Can you hear me?
I'd really want to know about their opinion about whether chest compressions have been done before they got there.
Okay. When did you last see him talking to the phone?
So, in a situation like this, like, was there anything dispositive? I mean, yeah, we could sit here in hindsight and say, "Oh, yeah, this was total crime scene staging." Is it classic crime scene staging? Yeah, but if we're starting this from the beginning of the investigation, we're going off from reports of the first responders on scene and the body camera video, and then you listen to the 911 call. Y'all, there's no way that you don't walk into this and think something's wrong. Like, none of this tracks with my experience in listening to 911 calls. When I was going through the police academy, I had a couple of dispatchers who were getting their peace officer license, and like the jailers and some of the other people were giving the dispatchers a hard time. And I heard a 911 call where a dispatcher is trying to get every resource she has to help this woman whose ex-boyfriend is trying to break into her bedroom. And you actually hear this woman take her last breath on the 911 call. And I just remember thinking, man, how helpless did this dispatcher feel, knowing there was nothing that she could do? And, so you hear enough 911 calls, you recognize the difference. You understand people do act a certain way in certain situations. Y'all, that puts us right here at 9 o'clock. I'm glad we had enough material. Thank y'all so much for showing up, giving up your Tuesday night to spend a couple hours with me. I have really, really enjoyed this. I hope to do more lives in the future. Hopefully Katie Zed and Dan D and I can have some stuff coming up. And like I said, I'm going to be taking about a month off to focus on finals. But if Dan D or Katie Zed reach out to me and want me to guest host, be happy to do that. Y'all, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming and spending a couple hours with me here on Cowboy Criminology. Y'all, please stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I will be talking to y'all very soon. Y'all, thank you so much. Have a great night. Nancy Guthrie. I've got you, Beth the salesman. I've got you. Yeah, Katie Zed will be live at 8 Eastern tomorrow. Is it Booze and Body Cameras, Katie Zed? Katie Zed and KFAR, he's another YouTuber. They do booze and body cameras, and they watch some of the craziest body camera videos. And it's like Mystery Science Theater meets Rescue 911. It's hilarious. They always have a great time.